Oh shoot, you probably don't see him, do you? Hi, Brady. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Brady. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my review of A Year with the Bambulab A1. This video is very late. It was supposed to go out October 26th, the 1 year anniversary of when I got this printer, to better fit the name of the video. I did get my review out on my blog on time at least, and this video will be kind of a reading of my blog post. I just wanted to make a video form, so I'm currently sitting in Petbaw's basement with Brady here, and it's at the end of Thanksgiving weekend. I'm about to pack my stuff up, get in my car, and drive back home. I thought this would be an interesting intro for the video. Alright, let's get into that review, shall we? Y'all are going to think I'm absolutely nuts for this one. Maybe I am, but I will celebrate almost anything. I will note down OC birthdays. I will remember when my cat was adopted. I will know how long I've been dating my girlfriend. That's ridiculous, I know. I remember friends' birthdays, my own birthday. Who wants to remember that kind of stuff? But me, one of the things that I remember is, for some reason, the day I got my new 3D printer. I guess it makes sense. I was pretty excited about it. My old one was crap. For a while now, after getting my Bambulab A1 3D printer, I meant to make a solid review video of it, and then I blogged it instead. But now that's been a year, and I received my printer on October 25th, 2024, I think my experience will have heightened my review. I think writing this review now will be better than it would have been 3 weeks after I got the printer. It's good that I do this now. I have a lot of experience to talk about. So here it is. I'm probably going to skip some of this. You can go read the actual thing on the blog. I'm going to ad-lib a lot of this so I can stay a little genuine and not like be here reading blah 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 the whole time, because who wants to watch a video like that, you know? The way I structured this review in my blog was that I went over everything that troubled me about the printer first, so then I'd land on the good stuff, because there are a lot more good stuff. There are more there are more good stuff. There is more good stuff about.
Stuff may seem plural, but the word stuff is singular.
You're right. There are good stuffs.
Oh my god.
Let's just say the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to the Bambulab A1. Don't get me wrong, I love this printer. Love it so much better than the XYZ DaVinci, whatever the heck it was called. I love this printer so much that I bought the whole damn company. I love this printer so much that I personified it, because someone I know said, hey, what if it was an anime girl? I think the Ayuna I came up with the name Ayuna, but someone said, hey, it should be an anime girl while you're naming it. And it was stupid. It was a really stupid idea, but I went with it. I drew a drawing of this Ayuna, and it grew on me. And now I have a physical model of Ayuna that I 3D printed, ironically. And I still do like refer to the printer as a she. I mean, it's just funny. Like people will call their car a she, their boats, right? People personify things all the time, but it's always like vehicles and stuff, right? You drive a big rig and the truckers will say, she's a good gal, she drove a good few hundred miles. And here I am like, oh, I love my printer. She printed a toilet for me and it's great. There's nothing in this script detailing what is wrong with me, so I'm sorry. Maybe another video, I'll figure that out. There's a picture of Ayuna right there. I'll probably put it on the screen already by now. I am pretty proud of the character design. I don't know why. It's cute, I guess. So anyway, I call my Bambulab a she, and I refer to her as her name Ayuna instead of my Bambulab A1. Oh, another thing too, you're allowed to, Bamboo Handy, the app, gives you the ability to name your 3D printer in case you have like a whole 3D printer farm. So, I took advantage, and of course I had to actually call my printer in-app a Yuna. So she is officially recognized as a Yuna. So there's really no backing out of that now. So enough about what my printer is called. This section is about what I don't like about the printer. Off the top of my head, I think I wish the camera system was better. Like, I'm not going to complain too much because the camera system is really great to have in general. It works. The only thing is it's got this like really low FPS and it's not great quality, but at least the prints are better quality, so it's not that big of a deal, really. This whole camera thing, though, does make me think of how, like, in today's world, we have the technology to put little cameras in eyeglasses. If you've seen those, like, new Meta AI glasses. But, like, when you look at security systems, they run at, like, 2 frames per second at, like, 230 pixels, and you'll never know who stole your Big Mac off the counter in your kitchen. Don't worry about the TV. Worry about the Big Mac. Oh yeah, in this blog I mentioned that I started having an issue where the camera will just stop working in the middle of a print and I can't get it to turn on or the light to turn on. As of recording this, I haven't had that issue in a good month, so maybe that was something that was repaired. I don't know, it was weird. But that's actually nothing. That was just some small things. That actually brings me to the big point that sometimes software updates can get in the way of things, can hinder things a little bit, but hey, there are ways to revert to a previous version or just wait till the next update. I always make sure to see what people are saying about the next update before I update. So yeah, that's a very small gripe. My gripes about this printer are nothing at all. Oh, except for the amount of waste that the printer creates. Now that is a problem, but per the circumstances, I guess it's needed for the good print quality. And luckily Bambulab is rolling out a new printer that deals with that in a much better way, but I'll probably be in my 40s before I'm able to afford that printer. And then by then, Bambulab will probably have rolled out some life-size mega printer that costs more than a house. But I'm fine with the Bambulab A1. The waste is well worth it, especially because I'm looking into ways to recycle. Like, I get, a waste is fine for supports and failed prints. It's part of the cycle. It's part of 3D printing. But, I get it. The process is needed, especially when doing multicolored printing. Like, the DaVinci didn't purge any filament, but it was crappier quality. And I know that the purging helps keep the nozzle clean and everything, so it's one of those things where it's like, it's annoying that it's there, but I'm glad to have it because of what it does in the end. It's pretty wild when you're doing multicolored printing too, because it creates a lot of waste. I've had already my fair share of prints, multicolored prints that have taken a lot of waste. I'll put those pictures up now and you can see it on my blog. A great example is the Thomas the Tank Engine logo I made for my Thomas display project. If you've seen that, it created a ton of waste, and I made this little figure of Artie, the strongest man in the world, for my dad because he liked that Nickelodeon show called The Adventures of Pete and Pete when he was little, and it's just a character from that show. So I made this little print of him with the striped shirt and everything, and boy, I woke up to a mountain of supports. But it was worth it. My dad loves it. It came out great. So, and again, like I'm gonna be keeping my scraps. I keep all my scraps. I'm gonna be looking to recycling. There's this new machine coming out named Loop 3D, and it's supposed to be a desktop filament recycler and respooler. It'll probably be like a couple years before that's like actually ready for the market, I'm sure. And in the meantime, I'm gonna be just saving my scraps, maybe shredding things down ahead of time to save some space. I'll figure all that out. So aside from camera issues, software updates, filament waste. I think the other thing that I don't like about this printer is honestly the anxiety that comes with it. Albeit it's more of a me issue because print failures are avoidable given the right circumstances. There is this phenomenon known to the Bambulab community known as the blob of death. And this is when filament discharges abnormally and starts globbing up in the nozzle area, potentially ruining components of the printer head. It's a very scary situation because it requires a lot of time and money to fix depending on the severity of the blob of death. And I've had my close encounters. I have never had a very severe one, but it still makes me very anxious. One thing that does quell my anxieties about the blob of death is just simple 3D printer maintenance and care. So while I have not run into this insane failure myself just yet, I can still advise others on how to avoid it. First off, make sure that the silicone heat protector that covers the nozzle is properly placed and does not cover the tip of the nozzle. Make sure the print bed adhesion is working properly. If prints fail to adhere to the bed properly, wash it with water and soap. There are other solutions like using glue, and there are a bunch of like 3D printer print bed adhesion solutions that you can use. Sometimes that still doesn't work, and I feel like from my experience that comes from the quality of the print model itself. Because I was printing these coins for a good friend of mine, and they were just sitting on this tiny little ridge, and I think they just could not grapple onto the print bed well enough. Even with supports, I don't know why, I had to turn the coins up for them to print right. But I think sometimes the model you're printing does play a part too. Always make sure to use auto bed leveling on the printer. That's a big one. I always have mine turned on, never have it turned off. So I always make sure to keep those in mind, and I hope not to run into the blob of death at all. But you never know. A lot of things happen, and I'm mentally prepared for it. So because of this, I do sometimes have a little trouble feeling I can trust a unit, but again, that's just me. That's just anxiety. All the print failures I've had on a unit have never really ended in anything drastic, other than a bit of wasted filament. And because I leave her on all night when she's printing something for a while, and I'm not there to watch things. That's another thing too. I don't usually try and do that, and I wouldn't advise printing overnight. I would rather be there to see the whole print through. So basically, a unit is reliable, but sometimes I just don't trust her. When I do have an overnight print I gotta do, or maybe I'm going out of the house, and I think this print is too complicated for a unit to take on, I put her on something I like to call speed probation. And it's funny calling it that because it sounds like I'm punishing a unit. Because one thing I do like about the Bambulab A1 is the various speeds. It can do silent, it can do regular, it can do sport, and it goes ludicrous speed. So those are all my gripes on the Bambulab A1, but hey, there's no denying that nothing is perfect. There may be a few things wrong with the unit, but it's a machine. Cars also fail. I see trucks stopped on the highway all the time. Even $1 million Disney animatronics need a dozen few part replacements. Let's not forget about Walt Disney 2.0 breaking down literally day one of his debut. Yeah, go look that up. The new exciting animatronic that Disney comes out with of Walt Disney himself broke down on day one. Machines aren't perfect, and that is okay. Although sometimes not, because I've lost a couple hard drives. But here's the thing about 3D printing, it's always evolving. It's a relatively new technology, and I think we're still in the midst of the rise of 3D printing. Like, it's still getting better. Back when I got the XYZ printing DaVinci 1.0 Pro whatever, Bambulab, I don't think it even existed back then. There was no printer like a Una back then, like there is now. We even don't have an affordable way to recycle our filament at home. And that is a problem, but people are still coming up with solutions. So the gears are still turning. Progress is still moving. I feel like even if we ever do get a flawless 3D printer that does everything, has everything, can do everything, it'll still have problems. So with that said, let's go into everything I absolutely love about the Bambulab A1. I remember being so excited to replace my crappy old XYZ DaVinci Jr. with the top of the line Bambulab A1. And with good timing too, because I think XYZ printing went out of business. So, I could no longer get any support for that printer. And I did end up selling it to a friend of mine. It still printed okay. It was everything that was lacking in a printer that I wanted for my needs. I actually nabbed a unit during a sale with money that I was awarded for a scholarship. She was originally, I think, $400, and I managed to get her for $300. So, pretty good bargain. So, thank you, Bambulab. I'm not sponsored, but I'll totally sponsor them. I think, obviously, my favorite thing about the printer is the print quality. And obviously there will be fumbles, but it's nothing a good bed cleaning and some setting tweakings won't fix. The Bambulab community is also amazing at providing support, and everyone will jump on to help you out, or they will go to the community if they have problems, because it is trustable. I've had my issues and I've gotten some help. When I first got a unit, obviously I had to 3D print the 3D Benchy. I actually printed my XYZ DaVinci's last Benchy under my control before I passed it off to my friend. And then Ayuna printed her first Benchy, and the quality, the difference in quality from Ayuna was astounding. It was amazing. So clear, so crisp. Love it. There is a reason I made a sticker that goes on the front of Ayuna of the character Ayuna saying, "I just print it better." Because I wouldn't lie through a sticker. And you can get even better 3D printing quality with the Bambulab A1 by using a smaller nozzle, which I did get. The Bambulab A1 comes with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, and Bambulab sells different sizes, so I took things a step up and got the 0.2 millimeter nozzle. I think with Bambulab you can get a 0.6 millimeter nozzle and a 0.8 millimeter nozzle. My girlfriend is not really fond of the layer lines that you usually see on 3D prints. So, and I'd like 3D printing things for my girlfriend because she's cute and awesome and I love her. And the 0.2 millimeter nozzle absolutely wipes those layer lines away. It is great. The only thing is it doubles print time, but very worth it. Just recently, I managed to 3D print a life-size figure of an OC of mine who happens to be an HO scale model train figurine. So he's like that small, and Ayuna was able to print him just fine. Sometimes I also use 0.2 to get fine details on a model. I think I printed my Leno model on a 0.2 millimeter just to get very fine details, make it look as smooth as possible. Also, regarding the nozzles, it is super easy to switch them. On the DaVinci, it seemed to be that you could switch the nozzle, but it was super complicated. You had to go with a screwdriver and this and that. I never bothered. Never. Out of my 6 years or so, I don't know, it was way more than that. Out of my 8 years of having the DaVinci, I never once replaced the nozzle, never even tried. But with the Bambulab, I can do it in approximately, on average, 40 seconds. I have a video of it where I timed it. Here it is. So basically, if I wanted to print something on one nozzle and then print something on a different nozzle right after, I can flip flop as often as I can, and it's very easy. Generally, I do try to print most of what I want on one nozzle first and then switch the nozzle and so on, just to, I don't know, make it easier on myself. But if I ever have to change the nozzle, it is no problem at all. It is so easy. I just love that about the printer. That goes to show I love the customization properties of this printer. Different types of filament can be used on it, different nozzles, space to put stickers on it. I'm probably one of the only people in the entire Bambulab community who's put stickers on their printer. But hey, make your own things, right? One of the biggest things that also turned me towards this printer was the camera system. And I know I have my gripes with it, but again, I am glad that it's even a thing and I can watch my printer from afar. I have that video that I made over the summer where I printed something for my dad while I was in Spain, and I was able to see the process through the camera on my printer from like 3,000 miles away. The printer also has a time-lapse feature, but I usually don't use it because the nozzle moves off to the side, so it'll take a picture, and sometimes it will have it'll string off. Even with the prime tower that it suggests you use for printing time lapses, I don't know, it's just but it records everything, or it's able to record every print. So usually I just have it record it normally, go into the files, and if I ever want to create a time lapse, I just manually make it with the recorded videos that a unit makes. Granted, it's not as smooth as the actual time lapse that's built into the printer, but it works. I want to add an extra note on something else I love about the printer. I didn't have this note on my blog, but I made footage for it, so here it is. I love how portable this printer is. I took a unit with me last Thanksgiving and this past one because it's really easy to pack things up and then set it up again. I even recorded the setup. It's so easy. To celebrate the upcoming holiday season, I just made this with a life-size Lego wreath. So well worth taking her up here and having something print while I enjoyed my usual Thanksgiving festivities. I'm now ready to talk about the AMS light, which is a pretty big thing about the printer. In the script here, I did talk about how I logged a bunch of prints to see how accurately the printer can predict how long a print will take. I'm not going to go over all that in this video. You can go on my blog and see what I wrote down about it. So anyway, let's talk about the AMS light. The automatic material system is an attachment for the A1 series of Bambulab printers. Well, it's the light version. There is a simple AMS version for a different series of printers. It's a whole thing, but it does the same thing. It allows for easy spool management and for multicolor printing. If you have two spools of the same color on the AMS light and one runs out, it'll automatically continue off the new spool, which is pretty cool. I've only used it like twice, but it's still awesome that it's there and you could do that. I think the AMS light's just about one of the coolest things I've ever seen for a 3D printer. I don't have any gripes on the AMS light other than just to where do I put the spools that I'm not using? I came up with this crappy system at first of doing that, and it was really dangerous for spool entanglement. So I just found this model of a rack system, printed more actual spools, and I have a pretty neat system on keeping all my spools and filament in order. There was another note here, and that was that the AMS light is usually displayed at an angle. I don't know why they do that. It doesn't seem like it should matter. So what I did was find a 3D printable stand for the AMS light to hold it up vertically, because where I have the AMS light, there's just not a lot of space. So I like that you can actually customize the way you display your AMS light. You can even take off the little motors that move the filament around and put it on something 3D printed. You can just move it around. It's very customizable. I've seen a lot of cool ways that people have used the AMS light in scenarios that are more efficient for them. So other than that, the AMS light is amazingly capable of making 3D printing a lot easier. So I don't even need to change the one spool. Like, maybe I want these 4 colors, and I'll use these 4 colors for a while, and I don't need to worry about anything. I just print the things in those colors, and if I need to change a spool, it's pretty easy. It's 3D printing has been so much easier for me since I got the Bambulab A1, since I got the AMS light. It is smooth sailing. So in conclusion, as I've basically described, the Bambulab A1 is an amazing 3D printer. I've had a wonderful year with it, and I really hope it lasts way longer. At least until I can afford one of Bambulab's larger, more industrial 3D printers. But that's going to be a long time before I can even get close to getting anything past the A1. And that's okay, because the A1, despite it being marketed as a starter printer, is still pretty great. I'd also rather spend $1,000 on figuring out how to recycle all my filament before buying a new printer. So either way, the A1 is a really good standardized 3D printer for beginners and experienced 3D printing hobbyists alike, and it's still capable of doing anything you can think of. I actually made this one little doodle somewhere of like me with my shoulder on a Una saying, "This baby can do just about anything." She'll even wash your dishes, I promise. A Una can do so much, she can even sing. I'm not kidding about that one. You can actually write music for the A1 to play. Granted, it's not great sounding because it doesn't use speakers. It uses the motors to play little tunes or tones. Yet it's still a possibility to make her play things. I actually have her play the first few notes to New Horizons from the Epcot Center, the defunct attraction Horizons, because frankly I'm a nerd. So Horizons plays every time I start a print, and I can change it if I want to. You can just have it like set to play a tune before and after a print, or you can just make a song, put it on the SD card, have the printer play it if you just want to hear music come out of the printer. I actually wanted to do some videos called A Una Sings, where she sings some of my favorite songs, and I might still do that at some point because it's just a really fun feature. Despite how horrible it sounds, I just think it's funny. It reminds me of that Device Orchestra YouTuber. I don't know if anyone who watches my channel knows that. Probably. Look it up. I think it's called Device Orchestra, but this guy makes music with toothbrushes and paper printers and receipt printers. It's awesome. It's pretty good. So a Una can technically be one with the Device Orchestra. So yeah, I'll make more videos showing off that feature. Oh, I did have her sing the Thomas the Tank Engine theme for my Thomas display video. Watch that one. You guys should watch that one. I actually had a lot of fun with that one. Great video. I will definitely make more videos on that and more creations that come right off of Una's build plate. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna keep 3D printing. Oh my gosh. Look at that, my lips are so dry. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna keep 3D printing. Oh, thank you. Chapstick. The Bambulab A1 I heavily recommend it. Before I go, there's one thing I want to promote to you guys. Something that Ayuna has printed for me is this little guy. The model is not mine. It is called the Dummy 13. I forgot what the name of the creator is, but you can look it up on printables. It might also be on Maker World. I'll put it in the description somewhere, but also I will have it on Nozzletov's very own webpage on the official MT Creations website, because just recently I have been putting together a little webpage for all of Nozzletov's adventures. I printed him maybe like a month after I got the printer, and I've just been taking him around with me everywhere I go. I take pictures of him in random places, and I've documented that all on the website. So go check that out. I'll put a link in the description. This actually isn't his first body. He's supposed to be like a little robot. So whenever one body has joint problems, I just print another. This is the 3rd generation. But go see that. Go see why that is on the website. I have some cool stuff there. Go check it out. I didn't have a script for this part of the video. So have fun. Stay tuned for more stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.